Disastrous week for the coalition, which has once again split. Canberra buzzing about a possible leadership challenge to Liberal leader Susan Lee in the coming days. Nationals leader David Littleproud pulled the trigger, calling the two parties' agreement untenable, whilst Lee remains as leader.
For more, we're joined by author and media personality Sammy Lucas, plus journalist and podcast host Jonathan J-Mo Moore. Nice to see you both.
Morning,
Sammy. Chaos. What are you making of that week?
The optics aren't good, are they? However you want to look at it. And I don't know, the fact that it all unfolded yesterday on our National Day of Mourning, I thought that was a bit bizarre. Like, read the room, guys. Do you know what it feels like now? Because this is the second time this has happened in 8 months. For me as an observer, it's kind of like when you're friends with that couple that keep breaking up and getting back together and breaking up and getting back together. And at first you're very supportive and sympathetic and understanding and you want to be invested. And then when it keeps happening, you kind of tune out and just smile and nod and lose all sympathy and think this is just a toxic relationship. Maybe it's best you go your own ways. I think a leadership spill potential, but maybe on both sides. There's a lot of talk focusing on Susan Lee's leadership, but Littleproud, I think, needs to be watching his back as well. And, you know, Susan was saying this morning on Sunrise, the door is open, but I'm not looking at the door. I'm still trying to process what that means. I'm not quite sure. I feel like both of them need to be very aware of what might be happening behind closed doors.
Perhaps both of them might be shown the door. Littleproud and Lee, what do you think?
Yeah, it doesn't play out well. I feel very uncomfortable by the whole thing and mirror what you've said, Sammy, about happening yesterday. But I feel like this has been a long time coming and we may as well just get it put behind us and then we can move forward. I feel like there's a much deeper essence of something going on here. I feel like there's a deep layer of misogyny, sexism, and that needs to be dealt with before either party can move forward, because they're so busy focusing on the people politics rather than dealing with the issues at play. And I think fundamentally whoever you vote for, whether it's left or right, that you want your politicians to stand up for the issues that you believe in. And at the moment we're so focused on how they look, what they're doing and where they are and what day. I think they both look weak and it's not great.
Okay.
Well, moving on, there are calls to ban cars with bull bars from city streets and wider metropolitan areas. It comes as Australia's pedestrian deaths reach an 18-year high, with critics saying there's no reason to have the accessory outside of a rural setting. J-Mo, your take?
I thought this was a joke when I first heard it, not because I'm making light of people that are dying on the roads. That is tragic and that is horrible. But to remove a bull bar is to remove... let's look at, again, the bigger issue as to why these accidents are happening. Is it driver road rage? Is it drinking or driving under the influence? Is it all these sorts of other things that could be at play?
E-bikes.
E-bikes.
That's what's dangerous in the city
delivery
right now.
drivers that are driving all over the road and so on. It's kind of like going, let's cull all the sharks but not look at also other issues as well. You know, it just seems ridiculous to me that a bull bar, and how do you police that? Yeah. I know in London that you can, you know, they have various cars that can go into town and different areas of town at different times of the day or different days of the week. But what? So this bull bar's allowed in the city on this day because they've got a special exemption for whatever. It's nanny state stuff and it's just ridiculous.
I got a neighbour who lives in the country, comes to the city for the weekend, so you're taking the bull bar off and putting it back on. How's it
I think that's the issue. This study that this story is talking about was based in the UK. And look, anything we can do to reduce road deaths, absolutely. But I've never really thought too much about bull bars, to be honest. But driving in this morning, I took special note and there were hardly any bull bars on any cars. Now, I mean, it was a small sample area, I guess, between the city and Redfern. But what, 1% of cars had a bull bar, and most of them that did, they were sedans with those tiny little ones that I think more than anything, it's just about protecting them from bad drivers backing into them in a, you know, trying to reverse park badly.
Car park, yeah.
But those huge, big bull bars, the only time I see them really is either in the country or a tradie. Why do you need a huge bumper like that on your ute other than to barge your way around the Bunnings car park? So, and how you would police it, exactly. There are people that need the huge cars with the bumper bars that are travelling between the city and regional areas.
I think they're going to have a great weekend. They're probably out there having doing some fishing at Lake Yukonbean. That looks awesome. They've got the best of both worlds, whereas I'm stuck in the city doing the rat race. So, you know, I agree about the not wanting to put any more danger to people, but you don't go the list of deaths on the road, and bull bars are not up there.
I think if you want to ban anything on the roads, can we please start with those depressingly ugly Tesla Cybertrucks? Because the only reason anyone would drive one of those is to let me know you're a massive douchebag. There's no other reason to be driving them.
I'm on the list.
Larry's on the wait list.
Larry.
I was going to give you a lift home. I'm not driving you.
I wouldn't be caught dead in one of those.
Yeah, you
Thank
would.
You. No.
You know you would. Now, finally, a survey has found that Gen Z shoppers now expect super fast deliveries thanks to services offered by giants like Amazon. Now, it means smaller retailers have had to turn shop floors into like mini warehouses to compete with same-day or 24-hour delivery available from the multinational corporation. Sammy, is it fair for us to expect everything so fast like my Cybertruck? I've been waiting 2 years for that puppy.
Longer, I reckon.
You know what? They're saying this is a Gen Z thing, but I'm here to tell you, Gen X, like, we are on board. I had a life-changing moment with this very experience yesterday. I didn't realise you could do this. So I'm a small business, work from home, trying to print something out, ran out of printing. And it was an urgent document that needed to be printed. So I went online, quickly looking at my nearest Office Works, working out how to schlep in to get it. And I sort of thought, I'll just look at the delivery options. There was a 2-hour delivery option, and it was only $14. Now, I have spent more than $14 on shipping for something that took 2 weeks to get to me. So I was like, I'll give this a go. Can I tell you? Within an hour, the printer cartridge was in my home, in my printer. The document was printed, and it was a very exciting moment for
And if
me.
you'd got in the car and driven,
Life-changing.
the parking would have cost you $28.
Exactly.
So there you go.
So I'm on board.
You're far more dramatic than I am. I'm just sitting there going, I need my Molly tea and I need it 5 minutes ago. Thanks very much. My jasmine milk tea, I need it now.
This was a moment for me, J-Mo.
Are you
Yeah, I
very
can see-
patient with your deliveries?
I'm not
or-
patient with anything at all, and I agree with you. It's not a Gen Z thing. It's an everyone thing. Unfortunately, sure, it'd be lovely if we lived in a world where we're all just skipped around with daisies around us, but we want things now. We want them yesterday, and that's the way it is. So
Larry's going to have daisies in his Cybertruck, I think. You should.
Yeah, yeah, no, I am.
the sad thing is for businesses that they've got to deliver those, and that's going to mean more pressure on them, and they're going to have more expenses to do with it. But I think people are willing to pay those
For
expenses.
convenience, yeah. Thank you both. Lovely to see you this Friday.
Thanks, guys. Great to see you.